Welcome back, Chaos Crew. I'm your host, Jamie, and today we are talking about reflecting on 2025 and looking forward to 2026. So snuggle up, grab your Proffee, get cozy, and we're going to have some more caffeinated convos. I'll be honest, this episode is probably going to be kind of like hodgepodge of all sorts of things mixed in. I know this episode is officially releasing on Christmas Day, so I would imagine if you're listening to this, it's probably after Christmas if you celebrate, which means we are headed into the new year. And this time of year, I always like to stop and reflect on what went well in 2025 or what went well in this year, what maybe didn't go so well, and not just what I want to accomplish in the next year, but how I want to feel as I do it. And if I'm being totally honest and transparent with you, I'm honestly at a stage in life where I'm feeling really burnt out by a lot of things from a lot of different angles. And this might be a vulnerable episode, maybe oversharing, but I don't think you'd be here listening unless you wanted the nitty gritty realness because especially I'm not big into New Year's resolutions. I think it's silly to put all your eggs in one basket thinking your life is going to magically be different in the new year. And the thing is, I've been working very heavily on myself, honestly, since I had my surgery, but especially since I started my business, really trying to build the dream life that I want. And with doing that, I've done lots of mindset work, both in therapy and with my mindset coach, Jen Diaz, who I'm obsessed with and love. Anyone who's an entrepreneur, she specifically works with female entrepreneurs. Her Revelations Rituals membership is fantastic. And the thing about mindset work is it never finishes. And you guys have heard me say that already. But when I reflect back on this year, I feel like I am just burning out from both ends. My life has just changed so significantly. And the thing is, part of the reason I built my own business is because I wanted to make a bigger impact on the world. I wanted to make a bigger impact in the bariatric space. I used to feel so trapped at my old job. I wanted nothing more than to become a dietitian. And it was such a hard journey to become one, which I could always go into more detail on that at some other time. But that was like a long, like 6-year process, took a lot of strength and determination to make that happen, all while having my weight loss surgery. And then when I came out the other side, I got my first clinical job as a dietitian. I was offered a job before um, I passed my RD exam under the condition that I'd pass my RD exam and be licensed. And so when I passed, I was able to officially accept a full-time position. I was working in a skilled nursing facility and I felt so proud. And I very quickly was, oh no, this is not the life I want. I learned very quickly that clinical was not for me. Kudos to all the dietitians who love clinical. Your work is so important. But for me, it just was not where I wanted to be, especially in long-term care, because the reality is you're working with very sick individuals and people at the end stages of life. And I want to help people live longer, happier, healthier lives. And when you're doing things like palliative care, just that's not the case. And it just wasn't the right environment for me. I will say that. I was very good with my job. I felt like I was very highly respected there. And I know I did a good job, but it just wasn't for me. So I left. I always wanted to have a private practice. I always wanted to work with people on helping them overcome obesity, overcome struggles. All right, Chaos Crew, you already know how much I talk about being a new mom and juggling not only that aspect of my life, but my post op health and life after surgery. And I honestly can't even tell you how many times Hungry Root has saved me in this season of life. They are the most incredible grocery delivery service where I know that when I use their groceries, I'm getting really healthy, high protein, easy to use ingredients sent right to my door. And honestly, now that Oliver is eating real food now too, it's just, they've grown so much with me and my family. I started using them when I was just 1 month postpartum and has absolutely been a game changer. Whether I am using the ingredients they send me from scratch to create one of their amazing meals with one of their recipes, or I'm just grabbing one of their ready-made options, I always have something for dinner ready to go for me and my family. And for right now, they are offering Proffee and Chaos listeners 40% off your first order when you use the code CHAOS at checkout. So don't forget, you can head to the link in the show notes. You can grab your first grocery order, which, like, hello, 40% off of groceries. Amazing. Make sure you go and do that. Use the link, use the code so they know that I sent you. I always wanted to help people more than others had helped me. I had seen so many dietitians throughout my life, and I never felt they understood me because I was struggling with obesity, because I had PCOS. So I especially and then once I had weight loss surgery, like, I knew this was what I wanted to do. So I built my business, and it's been the most incredible thing ever getting to do this work, and I wanted to get super clear. I'm so grateful for my platform, for this opportunity, for every person who has ever invested even $1 into any of my services so that I can do what I do. At the same time, because 2 things can be true at once, right? You can love something, but it can also be a lot, and I think for so long, especially before I got pregnant with Oliver, I was married, so I wasn't single or anything, but I was married and I had very few responsibilities outside of myself and my work. And I was in this mindset of scale and grow, scale and grow, scale and grow. And if you've ever been in business, you know that that's a lot of the pressure and the mindset. And it wasn't even pressure like I wanted to. Maybe some of it was even ego driven. I want to make this even bigger and better and even more of an impact. And I also like the ADHD. I'm like, let's do this, let's do that. And it's like I've grown this beautiful business, and I'm so fortunate that I employ other incredible women who get to work for me, and we've built an incredible community. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that sometimes, that hustle has caused burnout. And this last year, been a beautiful year. I've worked with so many incredible people. I do love the work that I do. And the problem is there's just not enough time to do it all, especially now that I have a baby. And that's been the case, obviously, for the last 18 months since I had him. But when I reflect back on 2025 specifically, the feeling that it was exhausting. And one of the other things, and this is where like I'll be like pretty vulnerable. I like really put pen to paper on this the other day. One of the things I've realized about myself, and I don't know why it's taken me this long to realize it, but I find a lot of validation when looking to numbers. And I've always known that about myself when it comes to the scale. And I'll be completely honest, I don't really struggle with the number on the scale anymore or the size of my jeans. Like that's honestly, maybe this is part of it too. That's honestly something that I feel like really absorbed me for the whole first I don't know, 25, 27 years of my life in the last couple years. It's like, yeah, it's great. I'm losing weight and I'm really proud of myself. And I'm glad that I'm pretty much back to my pre-baby weight almost now. But that's not where I seek all the validation. And again, this might sound like egotistical, or I'll probably have what I call a vulnerability hangover after I record and share this, where it's, "Oh, I was too vulnerable. I overshared. I shared too much." But the thing is, like, I've realized that I find validation by looking at numbers in other places. I find validation also, if you guys hear noise in the background, Lilo's right here, and my dog Lilo, and she's drinking her water and being loud. So apologies if you can hear that on the mic right now. But it's like I've realized this, and it feels icky to say it out loud, but I'll find validation from the number of likes on a post, or the number of views on something, or the number of clicks on an email, or again, there's a lot of metrics when it comes to business, not even just sales. Like, obviously, yeah, making sales and making money is not only nice, but my livelihood depends on it. But I think what I'm doing a lot recently is comparing to where I was maybe business-wise a few years ago versus now. But a few years ago, I had unlimited time to basically be the workaholic that I am and pour into my business and do all these things. And now I have 3 days of childcare, which thank God I have that. But I still end up working almost every night. Or right now, I'm recording this on a Sunday because there's just not enough time. And what I've realized is I feel like, and I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, I feel like every day and night of my life, from morning until I go to bed, which is usually way too late, is a constant to-do list. Check, 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 check. And I mentioned this in another episode, but sometimes I feel like I'm running a marathon just to get nowhere. There's all this work. I've created a beautiful business and job for myself, but I've created one that requires a lot of work. And then you add in baby on top of it. And the thing is, my business used to be my baby, and now my baby is my baby. And I want to be present and I want to be fully there for him. And I crave like slower days, less hustle and bustle. So it really feels like hustle culture has met burnout. And the reason I overshare all of this is I know even if you don't own a business, I know a lot of you feel this way too. Where it's just maybe this goes back to even another episode where I talked about being the default parent if you're carrying so much all the time. And for me, it's how do I slow. I am not even exaggerating a little bit when I say I have literally tried every single protein powder out there since I had my surgery 8 years ago. And for the first time, I am actually being super consistent with drinking my protein shake every single morning. And that's because First Form has been a game changer for me. It is the first protein powder that I actually enjoy drinking every day. I personally love their caramel latte level 1 flavor protein powder. It is incredible. It tastes so good. It is smooth, creamy, and only has the highest quality ingredients. It is not made with any fillers. It is just an epic product specifically for bariatric patients, and it's been a total game changer for me. And you guys know that this podcast is called Proffee and Chaos for a reason. I'm always grabbing my Proffee and running out the door, and First Form makes it possible for me to still live this chaotic life and hit my needs. So make sure you check out the links below, that you check out all of First Form's products. Again, level 1 is my favorite. Also in the show notes below, you can get my favorite Proffee recipe using First Form. Yeah. So when I think about 2026, not just what I want to achieve and what I want to do and what I want to accomplish. What I really want is how can I feel better? I want to feel calmer. I want to feel present. I want to feel more abundant, but not necessarily monetarily. I mean, yeah, that'd be great too. But I want to feel abundant in like terms of time and experiences. I hate this constant go, 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 go lifestyle I created for myself. Before it used to feel exciting. And again, I get validation. I've realized I seek validation from these outside sources and numbers, and that is a means of self-sabotage. And this is what I mean, guys. I keep like the mindset work never stops because I'm only just verbalizing that, not just to you guys, but even to myself. Probably should go book a call with my therapist to talk about this, but if I don't get maybe the validation I'm seeking, even subconsciously, because I don't go onto Instagram and go, oh, I want to get X amount of likes. But when you're used to people praising you or you're used to people liking things and then maybe they don't, or the algorithm isn't showing anything out there and it's like crickets. It's like you feel like a lack of abundance. You feel a lack of success. And I find validation and I determine my success sometimes in these numbers. Except whereas once it started off as weight, I would determine my success by if I lost weight or not. Now it's, did I hit, XYZ goals for like metrics in the business or something like that? I'm always putting it into number for validation. And I hate that. So I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to feel that way. So when I am thinking of what I want out of 2026, it's not so much like a New Year's resolution to-do list of, I want to hit this goal, because that's what I've always done. And then what happens is I keep pushing the bar, right? I talk about this with my clients and I'm realizing I do the same thing, but not with my weight anymore. I do the same thing in other ways. And I'm like, oh, I need to work on this too. But I'll tell my clients, okay, you tell yourself you want to lose just 10 more pounds, just 5 more pounds, 20 more pounds, and I'll be happy. Okay, well, you lose that 5, 10, 20 pounds. And then you're like, oh, well, 5 more. If I could do this, how about, and it's almost like, okay, well, when is it good enough? When do you slow down and actually enjoy what you're doing? And again, I talk about that, not to sound hypocritical, but I talk about this all the time to my clients in terms of weight loss, which again, I think I've mastered pretty well. I talk about you have to enjoy the process and the day-to-day, not just the destination. So not just the results, if you want to truly be happy and content. But here I am building this life that it's, well, when I do this, it'll be great. When I do this, it'll be great. When I, have X amount of this, it'll be great. And it's like, okay, well, then I just keep moving the goalpost. Or when I don't hit those goals because they're way beyond my reach at the moment, because my time capacity is so limited, then I feel like a failure, which is crazy. One of the biggest things I talk to my clients about is the fact that surgery, as much as it is physical, is also super mental and emotional. We can have our stomachs removed, bypassed, whatever, but we cannot bypass or remove the parts of our head that need work. And this is why I am constantly referring people to find a bariatric therapist. This is an incredible, incredible platform created by my friend and colleague, Ashlyn Douglas Barnes. She is a licensed bariatric therapist. She had weight loss surgery herself, and It is so incredible what she has put together. It is a free directory. It costs you literally nothing. And you can find licensed bariatric specific therapists licensed in your state. So make sure you check it out. As a dietitian, I help you with the food, but we always need to be incorporating the interdisciplinary team so that you get the well-rounded support you need. Check it out below and let us know your thoughts. And that's something I found has been really hard for me this year. Because I feel like a candle burning at both ends, I feel like I'm failing in multiple ways. And again, this isn't to be like pity party poor Jamie. I have a beautiful, wonderful life, a beautiful, wonderful business, a beautiful, wonderful son and family and opportunities. But again, I'm not feeling the way I want to. I always feel like it's never enough. I can never tackle the to-do list. I can never be as present enough. I can never do all the things I want or hit all these crazy goals I set for myself. And it's like, okay, like, how do I fix this? How do I, and where I was once growing and scaling, how do I like scale it back? And that doesn't mean I stop doing the things I love here. Clearly, that's not going to happen. I love the work that I do. I recently built this podcast. Yeah, it adds more to my plate in the chaos, but I love it. So how do I make time for it without burning myself out? And it's like, well, something's got to give. And I don't really know what that looks like, but I know I'm carrying too much and I don't want that for 2026. One of the things I like to do every year for like the new year is I like to do like little New Year's intention setting and ritual. And I like to choose a word for the year. And I think when I think about the word I want for the year, I think space is one of them. I want more space to have the ability to do the things that I really want to do that really mean something to me. And I don't know if I want my second word to be slow. Maybe I need help from you guys to come up with a word, but I need a word that embodies slowing down and scaling back to just be at peace, because this chaos and this go, 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 go just is not working out for me. So I would encourage you to maybe sit and reflect a little bit. What does that look like for you? Is it still something that you focus on in terms of like weight, or is it other things? Because I think that's the other thing about losing the weight. Like once you're at as far as my weight loss journey goes, probably going to try and lose another like 5-ish pounds and then get into maintenance and build muscle is the goal. But I'm not hyper fixated on that goal right now. Weight loss is not my main concern for myself anymore, which is very freeing. But again, instead of just being happy, I find other things to do or nitpick or strive for, other reasons to feel like I'm. One of the things I can say I am most proud of since starting my journey is creating the support for others that I never had. I remember thinking, oh my God, I am a dietitian and I am struggling on this journey with not just what to do, but how to do it to be successful and actually live my life, which is why I created my tribe membership back in 2020. It is the most incredible resource that I offer and the best starting point if you're looking for more support or some of my more nutrition services. It's an acronym and it stands for the Real Insights of Bariatric Eating. And it has so much support in there, not just from myself, but from other credentialed experts. We have therapists, we have a doctor of physical therapy, we have a nurse, we have so many people in there to support you along the way. So if you are interested in more nutrition support and more support in hitting your goals on your journey, that is a great place to start. You can check out the link below and use the code CHAOSCREW20 for 20% off your first month. And there's no minimum commitment. You can unsubscribe whenever you want. But I will say you probably won't want to because we do some epic things in there. Failing. But I would ask yourself, even if your goals are weight related this year, how do you want to feel while you hit those goals? Because I know as I hit my goals this year, hopefully, I don't want to feel as burnt out as I felt in the last year and a half, 2 years, because you only have so much energy and so much to give. And if you're not taking care of again, I'm my own worst enemy because I preach this all day long, but if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to be so much harder to be better for those around you, especially when you want to show up for them. So while this isn't directly weight loss surgery or weight loss related, it kind of is, because that bigger mindset is just like the driving force. And in any circumstance, if you're trying to hit a goal, if it becomes all or nothing or you're just burning out, even if you hit it, it's not going to be super satisfying once you get there. So without this being like Debbie Downer moment over here, this is just truthfully me being like, I'm burnt out and I'm tired and I need to figure out what things I can let go of and how I can create that space that I'm craving in my own life, and how I can hit the goals I have without it being punishing or feeling like I'm being mean to myself or feeling like I'm behind. And I do firmly believe we're all right where we're meant to be. So as you're reflecting on what you want for the new year, how can you start to formulate goals that are not all or nothing, that are not going to feel punishing as you hit them? Because if you're putting pen to paper saying, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week and I'm going to stick to my diet and my calories, and it already feels like it's going to be punishing, even if you stick to it, which is going to be really hard to do, it's not going to feel great once you get there. All that to say, I'm going to reflect a little bit more on what I want my word of the year to be. Depending on which platform you're listening to this on, I would love if you could comment below, again, depending on the platform, and tell me what your words of the year are going to be. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend, holiday season. And if you want more, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you leave a review on this episode. It really helps boost the searches so people can find us. Special thank you to our sponsors. And until next time, we'll chat soon.